Hey guys, what's up? Thank you for joining us on the 100 Block podcast. I know it's a little later, but throw on your pajamas, lay in bed, chill, relax, get a notepad, and
Listen up.
and jump in.
Yeah.
It's me, Nydia, and Boo Boo.
Yes, ma'am.
Got anything to say?
Oh, we here on the block today. Gil needs to put up the number because we're gonna take phone calls throughout the show today. Actually, in case somebody wants to call in and ask questions.
And then if you want to throw the comments up there too, if they want to ask any questions on there as well.
As well in the comments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight, as I had mentioned before, we were going to be talking about building your credit, getting yourself prepared, getting your finances prepared, financially in order to get you to buy a house, or if you already have a house, if you need to refinance or sell and rebuy, whatever, anything that has to do with like mortgage, and real estate. For those of you that don't know, I've been mortgaged for over 20 years. I started back in 2000. I've been processor, an underwriter, loan officer, I've done all of the different positions when it comes to processing a loan. And I'm also a realtor, been a realtor for over 5 years. So I know all the ins and outs on it. Okay, so if you have questions, please give us a call. Again, you can put them on the comments as well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. To start, we're gonna talk about how to build your credit. A lot of people, even though you kind of really know, it's pretty basic stuff. But sometimes, when you're in the position where you have to, or you're ready to do it, you kind of just forget little things.
So is having credit better than not having credit? Because you were talking about building credit. So if I come in and I'm like, I have no credit, not even a cell phone. So which is better?
Well, I mean, you want to have credit.
You want to have
Definitely,
credit.
you want to have credit.
So no credit is kind of like.
No credit is not
Yeah.
good either because, so if you have no credit, you're not going to jump in and get a mortgage.
Yeah. So
you
you have
to
to show some
build
type
it.
of stability to the person who lends you the loan.
You have to show that you are a responsible person and that you're going to make your payments and pay them back.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to. They're letting you borrow money, they get the money back.
Yes.
That's how they keep relending, obviously, right?
Yes.
So let's start with that, for example. You say you have no credit, right?
Yeah,
Let's say
I come in with
as
no
an
credit.
example, right?
Yeah, I'm your customer. I have no
Okay.
credit.
So we want to get you started to build your credit,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All
How would
right.
I do that?
So a good place to start would be, and probably where they'll first start you is a secured loan.
What's a secured loan?
So a secured loan, let's just say, for example, you have $500 in your savings account,
Okay.
whatever. So they put a hold on that account. They put a hold on the funds, on the $500,
Okay.
and they'll let you borrow money against the $500, and the interest rate will only be like 0.4, 0.5 over whatever the interest rate is on that, whatever you're making on that account,
Okay.
what savings account, whatever it is. It can
Okay.
be a certificate, a CD, but it's locked in while you make your payments back, and that hits your credit, so that it helps build your credit.
Okay. So say that 500 that's locked in. I mean, do I get the interest rate on that? Because the bank's making interest on it. Do I get
You're
a
still
certain-
making interest on the amount that's in your account. I mean, in
the
reality, they're not
$500?
that high.
Well,
$500, you're not gonna get much.
No,
but
of course not.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna
You
get
still
like 50
keep
cents a
making
month or
your
something.
interest.
But will I get the interest on that?
Yes.
Still, and then
And
I
a
got-
lot of people
and then I'm-
use this loan, even if they have credit.
Yeah.
They use it just because they have the money, but they want to keep their credit going.
going.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So this $500 is going to stay in this account. The bank's going to lend me, say $500, right? And then I got to pay the monthly, the minimum payment on it, or I could just pay it all off. But with my own paycheck, and it's not touching this 500 over here. The only way that 500 comes into play is if I stop paying.
Well, the money becomes available once you pay it off. But if you stop paying, obviously that's collateral.
Yeah, so
So
they're going to take that $500 and then pay off
Right,
whatever the
right,
500 that you
exactly.
owe.
Mm-hmm.
But that just stays there no matter what, locked in. Oh, we have a phone call.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it in? Did you answer it?
Oh,
Okay.
caller. You on the 100 block?
What up? You got a question? We can't hear it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can
There
hear
you
you.
go.
So, speaking on this credit thing,
Mm-hmm.
I've been having some problems lately. This is some serious shit. I'm not, I'm calling on some serious shit right now. So, um, how do I? So, do I got like, do I have to take out like a credit card and buy a bunch of shit to get good credit? Because I'm having that type of problem right now where like I'm looking for my own apartment and they're asking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I need to do to get good credit again?
Okay, so what do you pay right now? What are your monthly fees? Do you pay credit cards? Do you have a car,
I have
utilities? What do you have?
I got a car, but it's all paid off. I do have utilities. I pay light and gas,
Okay.
and then I pay my rent, and and then my cell phone and shit like that. So, but I don't have a credit card. I don't have none of that right now.
Okay, so a couple of options with what you just said. For one thing, you pay utilities. You're paying phone and you're paying water, power, all that good stuff.
Correct.
There's a way that you can actually set up your utilities to hit your credit report. Now keep in mind, you want to
Let me
make sure
write
you
that
pay them
down.
on time because if you don't pay
You
them on
said
time,
you
then
saying
go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I pay them on time. I pay them on time.
Yeah, yeah.
I can have my utility bill signed on my credit. You're saying?
Exactly. So there's a way to set it up. There's a spot, and I'll post it on here afterwards. But there's a spot
Can you
that
post it? Because I know I don't have that much time to talk on the live. So can you kind of like post it and kind of like guide me through that a little bit? Where could I?
we'll post the link for it on American Cholo. Okay. But yeah, you can go in there and you can set up all of your utilities to affect your credit, and then that way it starts to build your credit. So that's one way. Another
Okay,
way is what I was telling
that's
him.
one way.
Uh huh.
Right, right. That's one way. But my homie was telling me like, dude, you got to get like a credit card or two credit cards
All right.
and
Well,
do all that
here's
kind of
another way.
thing.
Here's another way. You said you have a car, but it's paid off, right?
Yeah, my car's paid off. I
What?
bought it cash, 5 racks, paid it off.
All
Or,
right.
it wasn't
So,
payments or anything like that.
what year is the car?
It's 2015, 2015.
Okay, so it still qualifies. How many miles do you have on it?
I'm not sure right now.
So if you're under 150,000 miles, some banks allow a little bit higher, but if you're under 150,000 miles, um, you can get a loan against your car. So the interest rate is better than getting a personal loan still. So you're using the equity from your car to get a loan and just make
Yeah.
payments on it. Always make a payment that's more than your minimum payment.
But
You
how am I
know,
going to make on my ride if I already paid for? What do you mean? Like I don't
you're using it as equity to build your credit. It's either that
make
or get a
payments
credit
on
card
the
where you're going
ride.
to have 20% interest,
Okay.
So
I'm not really understanding what you're saying about the whip, the car. Okay, like you're saying, like I already paid it off. So
mhm.
how? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like
Okay.
maybe I'm dumb right now. I don't know. Like
No, no,
break that
no.
down.
Okay,
What do
so
you mean? Like I already paid the car.
right.
So how? Who am I? What do you mean? How am I gonna? What do you mean pay the
Okay,
car?
let me answer that
Sorry,
for
I
you.
just don't get it.
Let's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Let
Yes,
me
ma'am.
answer that for you. All right. So you got the title to the car, right? You go to your bank
Oh,
and you're like, hey, I have this car. I want to get a loan against it. They check the value of the car. They just need to know how many miles you have. They're going to do inspection of the car, make sure it's in good condition and make sure it works. And they will give you a loan. You give them the title. Now they have a lien on your title and you have a loan that you can use the money for whatever it is that you need. And you start making your payments. Once you pay it off, you get your title back.
Oh, okay. So in other words, yeah, okay, I can. Okay, that's okay now. Okay, yeah, no, okay. So I can use my card to borrow some fetty and
Exactly.
then pay that motherfucker like what I mean on time. What I mean, good student, apple in the hand type shit, and
Right.
then that'll build my credit up.
Exactly. So that's an option.
Okay, and
Okay.
then that other option, then I can I do those two things you said, like the utility
Absolutely.
bills and stuff like that?
Yep. Absolutely. That'll help
And
build your credit faster.
how long down the road will this give me a good report on my credit? Like how long do I have to do this before I can go and get a decent apartment for myself? Where I got good credit or
I mean, it
whatever.
really depends on the place that you're going to, obviously, to rent. But it's just about building it up slowly. They're going to look at the whole thing. They're not just going to look at the FICO. There's more to it than just the FICO. There's what do you have on your credit itself. If you have a bunch of collection, then you have a bunch of charge-offs. They're gonna look at that too. So if
Man, I
you
owe
have
people like
stuff, well, you got to pay
I
people
owe, I
back.
owe, yeah. What about like? It's been 7 years. I owe Curaçao and motherfucking Panorama City. I
Oh
owe
yeah,
the motherfuckers like
Curacao. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Curaçao, whatever. My bad, ma.
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
So yeah. Hey, it's me, Danger. Hey,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
I owe. Okay, so look, I owe them motherfuckers like for 2 bikes, and then like I don't know what happened, yo. I moved out. Of the Valle. Okay, I came up here to Lake LA, and it's like something happened, yo. Like I owe them motherfuckers. That was a long time ago. That was over like 9 years ago. So you think that's still on my name? Like after 7 years, is that gonna reflect on
Everything
my shit?
stays
What
on
I'm
your
trying to do
name.
right now?
Look, okay,
Okay.
let me tell you, okay? If you're trying to apply for a personal loan or a car loan, they'll overlook those charge-offs sometimes, and give you the loan, which will still help build your credit. But if you're looking to buy a house, you can't have those charge-offs. You
That's what I'm
you
looking
either
to.
have to pay them off and let it start rebuilding, or there's companies that actually help you fix your credit. But people think that because you pay somebody that they're just going to remove everything, and that's not the way it works. Because let's just say you have a collection. That
Yeah.
collection company, yeah, okay, they have so many years before they can't claim it anymore. But what they do is they sell it to another collection company, and then they
Right.
do the
Right.
same thing. So now every time it's a brand new collection, so it just keeps getting added on. So at some point,
So that's it. So that shit, basically, Nydia, that shit's still in my name.
I'd have to
That,
look at your credit, but it's possible, yes.
yeah.
Especially if Curacao still exists.
I don't know. Do they? You guys in the valley over
Well,
there? Are they
well, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I was
yeah.
there the other
Yeah,
day.
of course, right? Yeah. You know
Yeah.
where it's at, right? Right there on
Yeah,
Law
right.
School, right there on Law School, Van
And
Nuys.
Van Nuys,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I know exactly where
Yeah.
it's at.
In Panorama. Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
look.
Well, good looking out,
Well,
Danger.
hold
Thanks for
on a
calling
second.
in.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Where am I? Wait a minute now. Oh, all right, I'll call
What
back.
up?
No, I'll come back.
Hey,
No,
look.
well,
No. Before we hang up,
Yeah.
where can I find this information? You say you're gonna post it up. Where
Yes,
can I find it?
on American
Do
Cholo.
I have to be subscribed to the channel though?
Well, do you look at his stuff now?
I look at his stuff
Then
every
you should
show.
be
He,
good. Then
Yeah.
you should be good. I'll post it on my stuff, and he'll post it on his Instagram as well.
okay.
All right.
All right. And if I need to call back, I'll call back.
All right, man.
But
Have a good night.
All right,
Thank you
man.
for calling in.
good looking out. I appreciate
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Later.
All right.
so I got a question as well.
All right.
Okay, so I went bankrupt probably like 15 years ago. But when I went bankrupt, they made me go to financial school
Mhm.
to learn how to deal with my credit. And
Right.
what they had told me, I don't know if it still works to this day or not, but if you pay a day early and $1 more, it shows on the credit report that you paid more than the minimal payment and you paid early because they don't have it broken down by numbers. I don't know if they do now. I know they were talking about it, but do you know if they still
I
do
don't
that
know
now?
if it's necessarily $1, but it's about making a payment that's higher than the minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, the purpose is to pay your balance down, right? So if you're only paying $1 over it,
But
it's
it wasn't to pay your balance down. It was to show so you can get a higher score on your credit
it's
score.
a combination. It's a combination. They go hand in hand. So as you're paying your balance down, I mean,
Yeah.
you also don't want to pay too much on the interest.
Uh-huh.
Like you want to make sure that like if your credit is bad, chances are your your scores are going to be really high.
Caller. Talk to us.
What up, man?
You on the block.
What up? Boo boo.
What up? Who's this?
This is Big Full Morning.
What's going on?
Hey, I just called to say Cubo. And what's up with the guy that just called? Why was he mad at the lady? He sounded all mad.
Right,
Always
right.
sounds mad.
Yeah. But he actually a cool
It's
dude,
not,
man.
It's not her fault that fool's doing bad with his stuff, you know? You gotta pay up.
Right. You gotta make your payments.
Right?
Yeah, nah. I just called to say what's up. Hey, I'm right here driving.
Okay.
But,
Where you at?
Yeah,
Where you at?
I'm right here at Redlands. I'm heading to Texas. I'm a trucker.
Oh,
Damn,
shit,
to Texas.
nice.
What part of Texas?
Dallas area, Garland,
Oh, okay,
Texas.
okay. Say hi to
Yeah,
our
yeah.
say hi to our
this is-
family
this
when you
is
go
our
through El
friend.
Paso.
All right. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
All right.
But
I always watch the show, and I see you guys were live, and I was like, let me hit them up, see what they say,
Oh,
see if they
hi.
answer, and you guys answer right away.
That's right, homie. Thanks for supporting.
All right, stay up.
All right,
I'll
you
keep
too,
watching
man.
right now.
You too. All
All
right.
right.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right, so we got a couple of questions up there. So one of them, it says it's not just credit, it's also your income. And I got bad credit, but good income and still a dope place just because of income. Yes, that is correct. So, for example, we had Danger that called in about the rental. I mean, obviously, if you have the money, you could put in a higher amount for a higher deposit and you'll still get it. It's not about the credit anymore. Same thing with, buying a house. The more down you have, the more you qualify for, because what that's showing is that you got a foot in. So it's like,
Okay, so
if you get a loan for something and you get it, it's just a loan. You didn't put anything into it, like on a car.
Yes.
And you lose your car, then you're like, fuck it. I didn't freaking put money in anyway. Yeah. But if you put in like 5,000-6,000, you're gonna be a little more cautious about
about letting
losing,
that bill go.
about letting it go. Exactly. So it's about getting that foot in. So yes, income makes a big difference.
Oh, of course, it's always gonna make a difference over who's gonna lend you money or not.
Right.
It's like one of my mom. Hey, mom, can I borrow $200? Do you got a job? No, then I can't give you money because you can't pay me back.
Exactly.
I learned it on Friday.
All right, so we have another question up there. Does paying your full balance every month on a credit card affect or help your credit? I've heard different from both. Okay, so I mean, it can do both. If you have decent credit already, then paying it off every month, I mean, that's good. It's gonna keep rebuilding your credit. But if you're looking to build your credit, because it's shitty or you don't have any at all, then, it'll help to keep a credit card, or an installment loan, for at least about 6 months and make bigger payments than the minimum, first of all, but keep it so that for a good term, so that it gives the credit an opportunity to show, that you're capable of making payments on time. So it's more about making the payments on time, not just about paying it off.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're just trying to show the creditor that you're responsible and you could pay this bill.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It takes about 6 months before they realize that.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to show like a little bit of history on it. Otherwise, if you pay it off in 1 month, then you don't have any history on there.
Yeah, so it's not going to make your credit score go up.
Yeah,
it's just going to stay
you'll
the same.
pay less interest, but if you're trying to build your credit, you need to give it a chance to build credit.
Now, when you say building your credit, you mean by making that score go higher, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure here, because
and then again, building credit is not just the FICO. Building credit, when we look at a credit report, we're not just looking at the FICO. The FICO is just one small piece of it. Because by paying your utilities, you can build your credit to the 800s. But if you don't have any history, any comparables, anything else on your credit, then you're still not showing that you're capable of making payments or capable of being responsible. So it's a combination of things that the lender looks at. But yes, the FICO, when it comes to a mortgage loan, the FICO makes a huge difference when, it comes to what interest rate you're going to get.
Okay, so saying that, like I got a loan, what was it, like a few months ago. And when they pulled my credit, they pulled 2 credits, one from Experian and one from somebody else. I don't remember the name, but I know the one from Experian just showed that I was current on a car that I had bought, right? And it just said, okay, yeah, paid off, current, good, right? But then on the other one, it actually showed like you were late 2 days, you were late 1 day for every month. Well,
it's not
every
a day;
month.
it's 30 days.
Oh, well,
every time it has a 1, it's 30 days. When it has a 2, it's 60 days.
Oh, those are not days?
Nope.
So I was late a long time.
Yeah.
No, so how come one shows different than the other?
Okay, so some companies will report to only one credit card company or one credit bureau. So there's 3 credit bureaus. There's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. When you do car loans or personal loans, they usually pull just one of them. Depending on the company you're working with, they use different ones. The popular one is usually like Equifax or Experian. They don't touch TransUnion
too much
as much. But when you do a mortgage loan, they do a merged credit. So they get all 3 of them together, and then they use the middle FICO of all 3 of them.
Oh.
Okay. So let's see. We've got more questions up there?
Yeah. There was one.
One went up. I don't know who that was.
Okay, the one that I see is keeping your credit score below 40% of the total
Let me see that
credit.
one. So never pay off your debt. That one right there. Never pay off your debt. Pay more than needed per month. If you pay off all your debt credit, it won't be reported to the credit union. Exactly. There you go. I pay off every month and I'm in the 800s. Yeah, but you're already in the 800s, so that's good. Just keep managing it at that point. But again, do you have more credit or are you just keeping your FICO up
Mhm.
there? Remember, you want to see history, not just a FICO. Okay, let's see.
Caller.
What up,
You on the
Tony?
block?
Tony Blazer. Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
What
Caller.
up?
What up? What up?
What up? Chilling. Hey, you guys are up late.
Yeah. It's because you had Compa Raider before us, and man, I don't know if you've seen the podcast before, but man, there was a lot of people in here, so
Yeah.
we got pushed back
It
a
was
little bit.
wild.
Hey, man,
That
just get
last
your
one was
chocolate
wild.
and
Yeah,
relax.
yeah. Put your feet up on the coffee table, homie.
Hey, so I'm gonna ask the golden question
What up?
because so I want to move out. I have 3 kids now. I need the space, and I want to get a house. And I'm getting mixed. I mean, obviously, if I talk to a realtor, they're gonna always tell me this is the right time to buy. They tell me that every month, you know.
Yeah, because it always is.
But well, yeah, exactly. And well, I mean, cause look, my when the prices were up, when the prices were up, I didn't qualify. Then the prices went down, but the interest went up. So then they're like, all right, well, you qualify now. And I'm like, all right, cool. How much is my monthly? He's like, oh, well, 4,800, 4,900. And I'm like, you know, I've been living in my apartment. I was pretty much born there. Like it kind of just got the guy that took over the apartment said like we're not even gonna draw you a new lease. Like just keep it under your mom, your dad, whatever name. So it's convenient for me to stay here. That's why I've stayed where I'm at. But the golden like everyone's telling me it's gonna crash. Just hold on. Start saving your money for your down payment. This, that, and the third. I feel like I'm not ready to buy, but that monthly is gonna kill me. It's 4,800. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I work 2 jobs to build a nest egg to have enough for a down payment, things like that. So I mean, should I buy now and then refinance later? Because my thing is, if it's gonna crash, quote unquote, everyone else is gonna jump on it, and then
Right.
it doesn't even matter if I have the money because someone else is always gonna kind of outbid me for the
Yeah.
house.
Exactly.
So what's your input on that? Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm a realtor, so it's always a good time to buy, right? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, but like,
I'm just kidding.
honestly, but like,
No.
okay,
Yeah, I know.
so they'll get how much I qualify for. They're like, because I want to stay in the valley, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, there's Palmdale, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
that's
that
not the
valley.
valley. Different
I
valley.
well, I just started truck driving, so like I've been driving to Palmdale, but I'm fighting traffic. Like I'm counter the traffic. So in the morning when everyone's coming there, I'm going too, and then coming back is not bad. Same thing with the 405. When
Right.
everyone's coming down, I'm going up. So the drive wasn't bad, but I sat in traffic today, and it was terrible. So I know like I don't want to go out there, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what they're pushing on us, and a lot of
Yeah.
people too, because a lot of the people that live right here, I live in North Hollywood. A lot of people live around here. They've been going to Palmo, they've been going to Lancaster, they're going to Lake LA, they're going like way that way, you know.
Yeah, I
So
mean, a lot of people are
I
moving
mean,
away because of it, but I mean, be patient. If you have an opportunity out there, be patient, keep saving your money, and just make sure that you get pre-qualified, because you never know when something pops up on your credit that is going to affect you last
and
minute.
and and
Okay?
I do stuff like that, but then the realtor's like, hey, come look at this in Castaic, and it's like a manufactured home. It's basically a trailer with a foundation. It's like 500, and I'm like,
Yeah, you got to
I
put
can
your
get a
foot down
condo.
with your realtor. Let them know, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is not what I want. That way he doesn't really waste your time and to take you to look at stuff that is
Well, I feel
not
bad
what you
because I
want.
kind of feel like I'm wasting. Yeah, because I kind of feel
Don't
like
feel
I'm wasting
bad.
this
That's what
time.
he does. That's his job. He does that. I mean, it's a realtor. Don't feel bad. At the same time, you're saving him time and money because if he's taking you all the way to an area where you don't want to go, he's not going to have to take you there. He's going to take those cities out of, his list when he's looking for properties for you. So it kind
Yeah,
of
because
helps
I don't
both ways.
I don't mind living in the hood in the valley. I mean, it's now I wouldn't say it's bad. Obviously, it's gotten a lot better the whole valley, but like it's
Right.
not. I don't Pacoima, Van Nuys. I don't care. I'm just finding something, but it's like when I'm seeing the house in front of mine sold for 900,000, I'm like, what the fuck? Like nine
Yeah.
Yeah,
hundred
that's what it
thousand? Like
is out
that's
here.
wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You know,
yeah, they've
so
gone up a lot. I mean, and what sucks is that they're not really going down. Like they're not going up as fast as they were for a while, but they're not really going back down. Like if they do, it's like, 10, 20, it's slow. It's a slow move.
yeah, because I feel like my sister bought in '09. She got a fixer upper.
Mm-hmm.
My sister bought in Arleta in 2012. It was a fixer upper. Like I don't see those houses being listed anymore.
Right
It
now.
seems like
Right now.
ever since flip my house or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
someone's always buying. Like all the houses that were around this area, they're just getting demolished and they're building apartments. Like I can't even
Yeah.
find a fixer upper.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Unfortunately, that is happening a lot right now. But you ever considered buying a duplex?
I need someone to go in with me because again, it's like with the trucking, it's 1099. Yeah, we make money, but like I don't want to say I want to dodge taxes, but like I mean, if they're telling me I'm self-employed, I'm not gonna tell them I make this much money. I'm gonna tell them I make less, which is not gonna help me out
Well,
because
if you want to buy a
you know,
house, you want to claim, you want to have more income on your tax returns, at least for 2 years before you purchase, because that's the income they're going to use and that's how they're going to qualify you. You
yeah, because
know?
I did a bunch of stuff to get my credit back up. I paid off like I came across some money, so I paid off my cars. I didn't want to do monthly no more. I was just like, hey, I got this money here. I
Right.
started paying it off. My score went up a bit. I tried to take care of whatever I had in collections. I tried,
You try
and
to
it
keep
went
your
up. But
FICOs
then
over like 700, 720, like above that, and you'll be good. You'll qualify for the good rates
I
that are out
even
there.
I even I even piggyback on someone else's good credit because I guess if they put me like on some card, like it kind of rolls over to them. Like
Mm-hmm.
what they have rolls over to me, but like if I end up fucking up, like
Yeah.
it doesn't affect them. So like I'm trying everything because I did hear about a program. I don't know if it's available anymore where like they balloon your payment when you get two loans and like they kind of cover your down payment
So
or some. It was
there's a
something like
lot of
that.
programs out there where either they let you borrow it and if you stay there living there for a minimum of like 10 years, let's just say, give or take, then you don't have to pay it back, but you have to stay there a certain period of time. There's also programs where they just help you, and it doesn't matter, it's just help for like first time buyers, and you can be a first time buyer every 3 years, so don't think that you could only do that once. um
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, if all I can afford is a condo, then I'm like, but then the
yeah.
HOA is gonna, yeah, that too. So
But
yeah, I'm
again,
looking.
you
If
can
you guys,
consider, if you consider a duplex, you can use the income for the other three
Units.
units. You can use well, for an FHA, you can use 65% of the income for the other 3 units. It's a little bit different for if it's conventional, but you can use that as income towards your loan as well. So don't think that you have to qualify with your income only. You can even still do the first time buyer programs with the duplex up to 4 units. So you can live in one and then do the other three rentals.
you know what, I'm gonna change my realtor to you. I think.
Right?
Hit me up, and I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna have one of my partners as well. I'm gonna be bringing people in. I have somebody that's going to help people that need to fix their credit. That need a little bit more than just tips. I'm going to be bringing in, one of my partners. He's a realtor. I'm going to be bringing in, a little bit of everything. Even if you're looking into putting your properties into a trust. If you have parents that they're getting older and they have a home, they don't know what to do with it. If you're looking into doing a reverse mortgage, if you're looking to, there's a lot of different programs out there. But I'm going to be bringing different people in, just to kind of give you a little bit more information than I can give you. So stay tuned on that part as well.
Cool, for sure. Hell yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, if you want to move forward on anything, you want to change realtors, I'm right here. I'll help you out. Me or my
Hell
partner
yeah.
can help you out. So
Hell yeah.
you
That's
know,
good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
for
Yeah.
sure. For
And
sure, man.
remember, don't feel bad. Make her drive everywhere.
Nah. I'll be like, nah, because a lot of them have like those video tours where you just like scope out the
Oh
house.
yeah, yeah. I had I
I'm
had
I'm
one
good
of
with
those
that
on the
too.
last house that I sold right here in Burbank. Actually, yeah, those are dope.
Wow. I
Yeah.
wish I could live in Burbank, man.
Right?
My kids would be going to better school. Yeah, like my sister's using someone else's address to put the kids in, but
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes that's what you got to do.
I go to church out there too. I'm pretty much at Empire Center every day. Man,
Oh.
if I could live like off of Thornton or like somewhere right
Yeah.
there by the airport, I don't mind. I'm not tripping, you know. I don't
Yeah.
want to go to the hills neither, you know.
Yeah,
If I
right.
can't have a party at my house till 2 in the morning, I don't want to live in the
There you go.
Right, right.
That's what I say. I'm like, fuck the hills.
Yeah.
You know how much drama they
Yeah.
go through every time we have like too much rain, or there's fires, there's water slides, all kinds of shit. I'm good down here in the valley. I don't
Nah,
need
I
to be
was
up
I
in the
was
hills.
working in Sherman Oaks, and there's a guy that patrols for them, like the private patrol. He told me that those people they call if they see a car that's suspicious. I'm like, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All my cars are painted different colors. They're not nice. Like, I'm gonna get called everything.
There you go.
All right, guys.
Alright.
Well, have a good night. Thank you for the info for sure.
Thanks for
I'm
calling
gonna
in,
tap
man.
in. Because I'm interested. You know, I definitely want to get out of here. I need more space. So
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
likewise, take care.
Okay, that was a great phone call.
Yeah, it was.
But he was saying he has 3 kids. He has, car payments, houses. The first thing I do, give back my kids. Here, you can have them back. You drop half your
We're not even
freaking
gonna
rent
get
right
into
there,
that one. We're not even getting into
but,
that one.
But then again,
Yeah.
okay, so say if you get that guy in a condo, I mean, because condos are, he said that the house across the street from him sold for like 900, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we know that's what the prices are here in LA. But a condo, aren't they going for like 6 and 7?
They're definitely lower. You
Uh-huh.
can get condos, between 4s and like 6s, depending on the area.
On
that
the area you're
looking.
going in,
Yeah.
and
It's a good first home to
Yes.
start with, build some equity, and then you can keep that home still,
And rent it
use the
out.
equity, and buy another
Buy
one.
another one.
Use it as a down to buy another one. At that point, you rent it out, and there you go. You have the income from the renters.
yeah.
So it's a good way to start as well.
You look at a condo. Caller. Speak to us. You're on the block.
What's cracking? 100 block of Elmwood. All right, I respect.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
damn.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey man, I got 2 hoods on me. You know what I mean?
That's
Shit,
right.
so
That's
it's-
right. That's
Hey,
right.
I heard big pulmones over there. That means big lungs, right?
Who is that? Somebody or?
The dude called. He called. I don't know if there was another caller because I had to shut down my computer after.
Yeah.
But somebody called and I came back to the show
Yeah.
and somebody said I was being rude to Nydia.
Oh,
my God.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
You didn't let her
Don't worry about
speak,
that.
homie.
Hey man, don't worry. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
No. But me, me and Nydia, that's like my sister right there, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, hey, big pulmones, if you're listening, homie, your lady got deep ass lungs too, so it's all good, homie.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, David. All right.
All right, peace.
Later.
All right.
This fool.
Right,
All right.
right.
Let's go ahead
Okay.
and do another tip.
Okay.
I know I've been reading them. There's more comments, not
Yeah.
questions. But there's another tip that actually, it's called the snowball effect. I don't know how many of you have heard of the snowball effect. Have you?
No.
Okay. So the snowball effect is, let's just say, an example. You have 3 credit cards. On one you pay $20 a month. The other one you pay $50. The other one $100. Right.
Okay.
So let's just say the one that's $20, the balance is lower, and then the other ones increase. So
Yeah.
what you do is you start attacking the payment that has the lowest balance
Okay.
harder, so that you get rid of that one completely, right? Once that one is gone, the amount that you were using to put towards that one, keep putting that amount, but put it towards the next one, and keep working with your way up. Like a snowball effect.
Yeah. Caller. You on the block? Speak to us.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Hi.
Great, thank you. I was calling because I was wondering if the lovely lady knows any loopholes for some of the application fees. It's crazy. They can be really high.
excuse me. Can you turn down your TV because we're hearing the feedback really
Yeah.
bad? Thank you.
I
Thank you.
know. My bad. Okay. She's so smart and she has it's good info, great information. But are there any loopholes to get around so many application fees out, or even some apartments? I think.
I mean, there's some people that charge the application fee, and there's some that don't. there's really no way around it because they're all privately owned, and so they can all charge it if they want to. Unfortunately, a lot of times the application fees are through rental companies. Those are people that put all of their properties with rental companies because they don't want to deal with it themselves. So the only way around it really would be to go directly to people that the owners themselves that are not hiring rental companies, so there's no in between fees. That's the only way really, but it's hard to know which ones they are.
Correct. I was thinking even going like to the sheriff's office and getting a printout, but they still want, to do some background checks of their own. And I think it's kind of nonsense because sometimes they already know they're not going to rent to you.
Right.
But you go through the whole process anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's why they say, if you can buy, it's better to buy. I don't know what your situation is, but there is a law that actually just went through that starting in February in LA County, they could raise the rental. I believe it was like 4 to 5%. Let me see. For 4 to 6%, it was approved for them to increase the rent between from are going to be going up, unfortunately. So something
Right.
to think about.
Landlords have the right to raise the rent.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
am getting a lot. I'm getting a lot out
Thank
of
you for
everything
calling.
you guys. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let me see. We got a couple comments in there. Let's see. What's wrong with Palm del Vato? Oh no, they're talking shit right there.
What's wrong with-
Okay, let's keep going here. I'm looking to upgrade, but house is almost paid off. Should I sell or keep as rental? I mean, if you can afford to pull equity from it and keep it as a rental and then buy another house, for yourself, ideally, if you like, I mean, they say, when you get older, you want to have something where you're making income without having to work. And that's the best way to do it with real estate. You rent that other spot out and you have income that's just going to keep rolling in. It's going to pay for itself. And you're building, I don't know if you have kids, but you're building something that you can leave for your kids, for your family, or just something that you can have available for later, when you're older as well. If at some point you do want to sell because you need to, then you have the equity from it that you can make money from. But ideally, having that, opportunity to make money without having to work while you sleep, that's the way to go right there, is having that second property to rent out.
Hope that answered your question.
So let's see. Higher Desert has all right prices, better than LA if you don't mind traveling a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
traveling is like a 2-hour drive, and that's
that's
a 4-hour drive.
You start to burn out.
Yeah, that's a 4-hour drive. 2 in the morning, 2 after work, and so I'm just saying for myself, I can't stand that.
No,
freeway.
yeah, people get tired of it and they stop doing it and they end up coming back, unfortunately. But it's a good,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a first time buyer and you're young, and you can do it for a while, because I mean, as you get older, that's when you start to really get burned out.
It's just hard. It's because you buy a house, say out in the high desert, in the Antelope Valley, but there's no jobs out there. They say
It's growing though.
Yeah, but
it's growing.
Yeah, but the jobs are like fast food or department stores or Target.
No, they have warehouses out there now too. I mean,
Well,
they're
Amazon, 'cause
desert
they're
type,
everywhere.
yeah. But
well, Amazon's paying $20 an hour too. So I mean,
yeah,
you'll
I
save
don't
on gas, I guess.
Yeah. But I
But
mean,
it's just the
there's
the
opportunities. There is. There's quite a few companies that are popping out up there, and
I would say get a
it's
job
a
there
good way to
first
start.
before you move out there.
Well, I mean,
'Cause now
but
you're gonna be
if
doing
you
that
can
drive.
work from home,
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
Even
because a lot of
better.
people are working from home now.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thanks to COVID. Yep.
right.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to another one here. So
Mm-hmm.
we went over stuff that help build your credit. Let's go over things that will hurt your credit. Okay, so lates. People think, oh, it's just a little bit late, or whatever. Lates make a difference.
So how late
know?
can you be late? Because like when we were doing, when I got that loan and my, it said that I was late 30 days. But if I was to pay it on the 20th day, would it show up on my credit?
Well, technically, it won't affect your credit until it's been at least 30 days.
Okay.
But Let's just say if you're paying your loan with that particular company,
Oh, and you want to get another loan through
and you
them,
want to
they're
get a
gonna
loan
know.
through them, they're going to pay attention to whether you were good with them or not personally. And that's not about the credit anymore.
Yeah, it's
That's about what they see. Not only that, I mean, if you're, there's grace periods. So if your grace period is 5 days or 10 days and you go over that, now you're paying a penalty. So now you're just throwing money away.
Yeah.
So-
So if I have a loan through a certain bank, I should keep good with that bank, because if that loan's done and I come back to borrow some more money, they will most likely say yeah, because we have history with you and you did
Yes.
pay everything. So that does make a difference
It
with
does.
that same bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's where I work at, you can have 5-6 loans of history with us and have really bad credit with everybody else, and or it can be like somewhere in the middle, sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, okay, they got this but they got this, and they got this but they got this, and you work kind of like this with it. You do look at the history that they have with you higher than what you would with everybody else.
Okay.
Absolutely, it does make a difference. Okay, so let's see another thing. Again, not paying your bills on time. It can be repetitive, but again, sometimes people just need to be reminded. Applying for too much credits. Sometimes there's like 10, 20 inquiries on a credit report. Every time you get an inquiry, it's going to affect your credit. Sure, you have like a period of time if you're shopping around, like
a
let's just
car.
say for a car. You can go to like 2, 3, 4 dealers maybe, in one day because you're shopping around. But once you start hitting more than that, now it's not just shopping around. Now it's, okay, they're not giving you credit and you're still going. And so it's going to affect your credit. It's going to bring the scores down. Okay. Okay, people think that when they have zero balance on their card, they're like, cancel that card. I want nothing to do with it
Oh, you
anymore,
don't
or
do
whatever.
that. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Don't cancel cards if they have zero balance, especially if you have a lot of credit available with them. Don't cancel it, because when we look at your credit, there's a section at the end of that credit report as well that says how much revolving credit do they have available, and that's based on how much credit you have available on those cards versus the balances that you have on them. Another thing, you have a credit card, let's just say you owe 10,000 on it and the limit is 10,000. Now it's maxed out. That's going to affect you. So you don't want to max out your cards. Try to keep them like at 50% of what the limits are, and that kind of it makes a difference,
makes a
because it shows that you have more revolving debt available to your name.
Caller, you on the block?
Hi guys, how you doing? Great podcast, by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of knowledge, and I just want to pick you guys' brain real quick about a question. So I recently bought a house maybe about 2 years ago, in the Fontana area.
Yes.
It was for $520. I got it for $540. Anyways, mortgage payment is about $26, but then they hit me with this Melrose tax. Is this Melrose tax ever going to go away? I was reading it was about 30 years and then it'll go away, but I've been asking around and I've been hearing that it's not going to go away.
Yeah, Melrose are usually it's areas, it's certain areas, and if Fontana is known for them, you might be with it for a while. Unfortunately, that's just an additional tax that pops up. We can go more into detail about
Melrose.
the stuff that pop up on properties like that for taxes. But yeah, you might be stuck with it for a little bit. Again, it's based on areas. I haven't seen any Melrose pop up. Like some areas will never have it. In some areas, it just depends on what the city provides for you throughout that area. What kind of, like, if they have like metro, or if they have like more stuff available to the community or to the homeowners, you're gonna get hit. And what they do is they divide that, through different homeowners in the area, and you get stuck with a percentage of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I was looking at my property tax, and I think the Melrose is part of, I believe, like what was it for? I think the schools in the community.
Yeah, there's different types.
Yeah. But I was just wondering because I'm stuck with it now, but hopefully, if I ever leave the house to the kids, hopefully they're not stuck with it,
Right. Yeah, hopefully by then it'll be over. But yeah, those are little things. Like, for example, you're saying that one is for the schools. It's to maintain the schools. It's to help out, to keep the quality of the schools and the education in that area better. So if the schools in your area must be really good. I mean,
Uh,
what do you think? Are they?
yeah, yeah. You know what? Originally my daughter was she was in I think the closest school to our house was Colton District.
Mm-hmm.
And we were paying for the Melrose right there, but we transferred her out of there and switched her to the Fontana District because I think the ratings were a lot better in
Right.
Fontana. And the school's literally down the street as well, but just where we live, her home school was Colton.
Mm-hmm.
But since she was smart, they took her right in, with a quick permit, and yeah, the school is good. Yeah, she's a straight A, she's a GATE student, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what you're paying for. Instead of paying for private school, you pay for that. Look on the bright side. At least with the Melrose, you can claim it on your taxes because it's a tax that you're paying. Versus if you had your kid in a private school, you can't claim all that. So something to think about. And somebody on the on the comments actually put like it's better than HOA, which for HOA fees, again they maintain they're on you about everything on your home. Like they're saying like the grass, if it's not cut properly or if it's cut too high or too low, like everything needs to be consistent throughout the different condos when it comes to the HOAs. So it's not so bad if you think about it.
Yeah, and the Melrose, I just painted my house. You know what I'm saying? I got the like a modern gray with like a dark blue roof, and everyone else's house is like kind of the same. So mine stands out a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
But nobody's but nobody's tripping. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's tripping. Everything's all good. As a matter of fact, they say the opposite. They're like, "Yo, your house is beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
There you go. It pops.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good thing.
Yeah. All right, cool. So Melrose. So maybe not forever, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
how
you
do I
might
look
get
into
lucky
that or what?
eventually. You got to go through your city. Ask, I don't know what where you would go through your city, but yeah, it's a city thing. Go to their website, check it out.
Okay.
Or,
All right, great job.
just walk into City Hall and just ask.
Yeah, there you
I'm sure
go.
they'll point you in
Yeah.
the right direction.
Yeah.
They're gonna hit me like the Sandlot 4.
There you go.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.
All right, we got American Cholo. How much do you need for a down payment? Also, is there a first-time buyer help from the feds? From the feds? I have not heard anything about having a first-time buyer's help from feds. I could look into that and see, but I haven't heard of that.
So he's saying how
much do you need for a down payment?
Well, first time buyers 3%, but you kind of.
It really depends on what you can afford and where you want to buy, really. Because if you're buying somewhere where the homes are cheaper and you can afford that higher payment, then you don't need to put that big of a down. Also, how is your credit? If you want to build your credit and then apply for a loan, there's some people that will apply for a loan even if their credit is not so great, so they are getting hit with the higher rates, or like they're a little bit more strict on you because of it. But for down payment, I mean, literally, the lowest you can go is 3%. Some people don't even put it down. Like they just get help with the first time buyer programs. They put the 3% for you, and you don't need to come in with anything.
Oh, the seller will put in the 3%.
Not the seller. I mean, yes, the seller could too. You can negotiate that, but no, we're talking about first time buyer programs that put the 3% for you.
Oh, so you would
Yeah.
say like a bank, a financial institution would put that 3% down
Well,
for you?
it's not the financial institution that does the program. The first time buyer programs are outside. They're either government programs or they're
okay.
private company programs. There's a lot of different programs available out there, but yeah, they're the ones that provide it, and they work together with the mortgage company, and they're the ones that send the money to them.
So when is it a good time to buy a house? Because you always hear, oh, it's a buyer's market, it's a seller's market. When is a good time? I mean, and then there's other people saying, oh, the bubble's gonna pop in the next 3-4 months.
I mean, when the rates are low,
which will they be? Because they're at
it's a
6%
seller's
right
market.
now, right?
It's a seller's market
Right
at
now,
that point.
right now they're at like 6%, right?
About 6.5.
About 6.5. So
Yeah.
is that considered a low rate?
Well, compared to where we were at, we were like at 8.5, 9%.
9%, which was a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
So the feds cut the rate to try to get people to buy, right?
I don't know if they're necessarily doing it to help the people, but they have dropped it. They did say that they're expecting to drop more throughout the year, throughout the end of 2024. But yeah, right now the rates being where they're at, we have more buyers out there. So it is more of a seller's market because, you know, they have more people putting in offers. And so there's more negotiating involved. You know, and you have options.
Yeah, let's say I buy a house today, right? And it's at a 6% interest rate, right? I mean, I've owned 3 homes. I've never lived the life of the loan. I always end up refinancing. I don't know anybody that's ever not refinanced their home except my grandma when she bought it in the 30s, you know? And my aunt still has that house today. But you can always refinance if it's at a 6 interest rate and it goes down to a 3. You can always refinance, right?
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. I don't know anybody that's not ever refinanced their home, you know, and they just kept with that same exact loan.
There's people.
But what is that, like a 10% out of 100% people that do it?
No, it's higher than that. There's a lot of people. You know, for example, people right now that have the rates of like 2-3%, they're not going to refinance. They don't need to because there's second mortgages available out there. You can get a fixed second mortgage. You can get a line of credit second mortgage. So you can always get a smaller loan amount on a second if you need the money for anything.
Yeah.
Whether it be to fix your home or to consolidate debt or to help your kids with tuition for school, you know, but there's that second mortgage available that you can always add on. So there's no need to mess with the first mortgage and have the loan amount be even higher if you don't need it.
Okay.
You know, so people usually refinance the first to either lower their payment, lower their interest rate, you know, or you know, that's usually it. You know, unless it's already high, then they don't really care, and they use it while they're refinancing it. They also pull cash out from it, you know, at the same time because now they're paying closing costs. You know, but there's also a lot of second mortgages out there that don't charge fees. Like a lot of credit unions, they don't charge you the fees to get that second mortgage. You know, and depending on the equity that you have, sometimes you don't even have to get an appraisal.
So if I have my mortgage, let's say through, I'm gonna say Countrywide because they're not around no more, right? And I go to a credit union, can the credit union give me the second, or do I have to go to where, I guess let's say Countrywide and get that second?
What do you mean, to purchase?
No, I have a home.
You can get a second wherever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't
So
have
it's
to be with
just
the
a second
institution.
lien that goes on your title that gets recorded.
Okay.
So you can get it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. What the only thing is sometimes, like, let's just say that you have let's just say you have a first and a second, right? And you want to refinance your first mortgage, but you don't want to touch a second mortgage. So you would have to get permission, and you don't do the work. The mortgage company does it for you. But you would have to get permission from the second mortgage that you already have on there to refinance the first one and put them in first position. Again, because now you have the second position that falls into first, and then the next one that records would go behind them when they record. So you get a subordination where they allow you to record and stay in first position, and they stay in second position. And the reason for that is, let's just say that you were to ever fall into financial issues where you can't afford something, or you have to go bankrupt, or I don't know, whatever the reason is, or you have to sell the house.
Yeah.
And now there's less equity on the house, and it's not enough to pay that second. The second might not get their money.
Yeah.
And that's the chance that the second mortgage company is taking by being in second position. And you have first position, second position. Sometimes they're in third position. You know, it varies. Like if you have the satellites on your roof, or different thing like that you get loans for, and they put liens on your property.
Yes.
Sometimes those are like in third and fourth position.
So I hear not the satellites, but the
solar panels.
The solar panels, they put liens on your house.
They do,
because they sit there and say, "Oh yeah, it's free," and then you just pay back some, like throughout the life of the. Somehow you pay back.
Well, a lot of them you don't have to pay back.
But they put the lien on your house.
They'll put a lien on your house for like 10, 15 years, and as long as you stay there for those 10, 15 years, you don't have to pay it back. And once the 15 years are up, they take it off.
They take it off. But you probably have to chase them to take it off, right?
Nope.
No, it just.
I mean, there's a process, but
but something that I would have to do and chase them, and maybe they went bankrupt at one time and they're gone. And how do I get this lien off? No.
There's a process. They can't just disappear.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So don't
Let's
get
see.
solar power. Because you can put a lien on your house and then you try to do something, you can't refinance.
Well, no.
'Cause
We
you got a
have
lien on your
like
house.
right now, for example, we do second mortgages, and if they have a solar panel that they have a lien on, we just have to send them some paperwork and tell them this is what we're doing. And what they do is they'll have some paperwork signed, and when we go to record, once we're ready and we're finalizing everything, they will lift their lien. We record, and
they
then
put it back on.
record that one like within 10, 15 days afterwards. They record it back so that it's behind again.
Oh,
So they'll do that, but they charge you like $200-$300 to do it, but it's
Jeez,
doable.
They're the ones putting the lien on it. Why are they charging?
Okay, so moving on, let's see a couple of other things that we have here that will hurt your credit.
What else?
Okay, so let's see co-signing for people. Okay, I know that a lot of times parents want to help their kids and they co-sign for
Or a
them,
car or something.
for a car, or a brother or a sister or something like that. And that's cool and all that you help somebody out, but when it comes down to you wanting to, for example, refinance or purchase a home, that payment, you can be like, oh, well, that's not mine. But you're going to get hit with that payment, whether it's yours or not. Your name is on it. And if they fall, you're responsible for it. So we still have to hit you with it on your debt ratio. And, so it affects your credit. It affects your credit on a situation like that. Or if they mess up, they miss a payment, it affects your credit. It brings your FICOs down, like it hurts you. So just a suggestion, if you ever get in a position where somebody's like, hey, or your kids, help me out, help them out by, like we were talking about earlier, put $500 or put $1,000 in an account, let them get a loan against it, make them make that payment, and at least that it's against secured money. The interest rate will be better too for them, but you can do it under their name because it's secured. You're not going to get denied on a secured loan as long as there's the collateral, so put it under their name. Just let them use the money, whether you borrow it or give it to them, but let them build their credit that way. It makes a big difference.
Well, there's a question here. Oh, it's gone. Well, it's about 401k. What happened? It was, what do you say about a 401k? Now my experience, because I do have a 401k. I've been putting into it for the last 23 years. I've been putting a lot of money into it for the last 23 years. And what I've noticed is that I've also owned 3 homes. When I sold my first home, I only owned it for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sold it. I got a check for $214,000, right? Mm-hmm. My 401k, I've had it for 20 years, and it's not $214,000. It's nowhere near that.
Okay.
So buying and selling homes, or like, wouldn't that be better, like as a retirement, if you know how to manage your money? Because in 2 years, I got $214,000. In 20 years with my 401k, I haven't even made that yet.
I mean,
at least that's just my experience with
obviously
401k.
doing real estate and investing in real estate, where you're making money while you sleep. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's the best way to go because you're making money, and it's not something that you're really like. The loss on real estate is not the same as a 401k where they're putting money in investments with other companies.
And they're constantly going up and down.
Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah, you have another 9/11, and there goes your 401k for 20 years.
You just don't know. It's I mean, you can have it to where the growth is smaller on it. Mm-hmm. But again, it's smaller. You can put it in the ones that are, they're higher risk.
Yeah.
But again, they're higher risk. So real estate is always a better way. I mean, even though the values do go up or down, if you keep things long term, eventually they go back up. So that's obviously the best way to go.
Okay,
And speaking of 401ks, actually, if you're a first time buyer, you can actually take out up to $10,000 from your 401k
without being penalized
towards your first home. It just has to go straight to them. And you don't get penalties on it. I mean, you'll pay taxes, but you don't get penalties on it. So that's a good way to use like towards a down for your home if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, and that's a good investment because your home's gonna go up way faster than your 401k will go up. Mm-hmm. Not saying a 401k is not bad, but it's good for a backup.
Right,
You
right,
know,
exactly.
back when I got my 401k, it was like, oh yeah, get your 401k, you'll be set, you'll be retired. And I'm like looking at it like, hell no. Like when I was buying and selling property with not that I did it, it was just my own personal homes. I was getting way more,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
but then I blew it.
Yeah, but again, if you are buying and selling property and then not buying more property,
Yeah.
now you're paying for the taxes and all of that. Now you have capital gains and all that. So,
Yes.
the point is to like keep using the money towards the
For
next one and
something
the
else.
next one.
Yes, yes.
Which brings me to another one. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the 1031 exchange.
No.
The 1031 exchange is a way to use the taxes on your home, moving those taxes to the next home, instead
Okay.
of having your taxes increase.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's a
Now
good
that's
thing
a
that a lot of
1031
investors do that.
exchange.
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of investors do that. They keep it for a certain period of time and then they exchange it and move to the next one and then the next one. And they keep, you can keep doing that without paying the taxes on it as well, as long as you switch it within a period of time. And I'm actually going to work on getting somebody in here that also specializes on 1031 exchanges to get a little bit deeper on that one for anybody that's interested in, in investing and, or using the exempt of the 1031 exchange as well. Okay. All of our comments disappeared. So if you have comments up there, we can't see it.
Oh, if you refinance a home, right? If you refinance your home, right, and you had when they reassess your house, does your taxes go up?
When they reassess it, yeah. When they do an appraisal, no. When they do an assessment, yeah. So if you see the tax people coming to your home, close the doors. Don't let them in.
Don't let them in. So when you go and refinance a home, it's no. But when if there's a tax person walking around and they're trying to say, hey, can I come and look at your house? And you say, yeah, and they reassess it.
Well, if
and then it'll go
you
up.
do work on your home and you have to get permits and all of that, they're going to assess your home. And that's when your taxes can go up.
Oh, wow. So if you're redoing your kitchen
And
and they got to come in
you
and
gotta do,
they got to come in and you do it correctly through the city and you get your permits, they're going to come reassess
you
your
have to
home.
inspect it constantly.
So
and
if you
all
bought
that,
your
yep.
house in
Yep.
2020
It
and you
gets
paid
reported.
$100,000 for it, and in 2023 it's now worth $900,000, they're going to reassess it and you're going to get your tax now on $900,000.
Yeah, your taxes will go up. Exactly.
So don't go through the city.
Yeah,
See?
to each their own on that one. But yes,
So
exactly.
there you go. Don't go through the city to do your stuff.
Okay, and then another thing that actually I see on
And then
credit
just
reports
sell your
all the
house as
time.
is. There you go. There, got it.
Okay, a lot of times, let's just say that you say, well, that charge on the credit card wasn't mine. I'm not making the payment. So now you're disputing a charge with the credit card company that you're with.
So many people
you
do that,
stop
though.
making your payment.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, disputing is okay, but
Yeah.
when you hold your payment back during the dispute,
Oh, don't do that.
okay, so on the credit, we'll see where it says disputed, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make a difference. It's still going to affect everything else. It's not going to say, oh, well, that FICO should have been 40 more, but because of the dispute, like, no, like,
Yeah, you
it
still gotta
affects
keep
your
paying it.
credit.
Yeah.
So when you have a dispute, dispute it all you want, but don't stop making your payments. Make them give you the money back. And I know that sometimes we don't want to do it because we're like, we're not going to get the money back.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, you're the one that loses because it hurts your credit.
Yeah, I kind of experienced that through when I went bankrupt. They told me, "Oh, stop paying your credit cards." So I did for like 6 months because it was going through courts through that whole 6 months, right? I lost like my credit score got hit like by 300 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from a 700 to like a 500, 400,
Right.
Really messed with my credit. But if I would have just kept paying those payments, which I was able to do, if I would have just kept paying those payments, my credit score would have only took like a 100-point hit.
Well, I mean, technically, when you go bankrupt, the point is because you can't make your payments. Like, people will go bankrupt because they lost a job or they had medical
Yeah.
issues or, whatever. Like, there are big reasons. And that's why, at that point, it's like, yeah, okay, stop making your payments because if you need the money to take care of your family, then that's what you got to do. It is
Yeah.
what it is. But if you're just doing it, just
I did it because everybody was doing it,
Yeah,
and it was
which-
2008, and they were just like the
okay,
courts
you
were
just
just.
screwed yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, so
pay your
don't-
payments.
Don't. There you go.
So pay your payments. Even if you're going bankrupt, still pay your payments.
Exactly.
Because you're only going to take a 100-point hit versus me. I didn't pay for 6 months and I took a 300-point hit.
Yeah.
And then it took me a long
Exactly.
time to build up. Even though, which is funny because like As soon as I went bankrupt, and as soon as it cleared, I swear, within the very next week, I started getting car loans, pre-approval for credit cards. I mean, all my credit started coming back.
Well, they send you stuff, but it doesn't
the,
mean that you're gonna get good good interest rates on them. At that
no,
point.
I was getting but the credit cards weren't like $500,
Yeah.
$300, and then Honda was sending me cars, which I'm used to Mercedes and Beamers, but I was getting hit for Hondas, but still, and then I was gonna say something, I totally forgot, but I don't know.
All right, let's take it back. So another thing, adding an authorized user on your credit cards. I remember my mom did that for me when I was like 18. I think she added me as an authorized user, and she doesn't know because she doesn't really use her credit. But yeah, I wasn't making my payments on time. I maxed that card out. And that's one of the things is that usually when you add an authorized user, they don't know how to manage the credit card yet. They don't know how to manage their money. They're just learning. So yes, it helps build their credit, but at the same time, it affects your credit in a negative way if they're overspenders, if they're maxing it out. So again, think about doing it where it's a secured loan, and you can do secured credit cards too. Put money into it and let them use that instead of letting them jump in on your credit and messing up your credit. Just something to think about on that one. What's up?
I was trying to figure out what my question was. It was a good one, and I
okay.
fully forgot it. It was about bankruptcy, but.
And then, okay, another thing, if you're looking to refinance, one of the biggest things, okay, yes, obviously you don't want to be late on things. We went over all of that. But if you're late on your mortgage within the 12-month period, that messes you up. They don't want to give you a loan. You have to wait for it to be 12 months of good payment history. So the most recent 12 months need to be good. You can't have a late within those 12 months. So just make sure on that mortgage, always be good with it. Always make it on time. Make it earlier if you can. Make larger payments if you can. Just keep maintaining, all of it. Okay.
I remembered it.
What?
It was about my bankruptcy again.
Okay.
I was able to buy a house within the next 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't buy a house for 2 years because you went bankrupt.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to say it was a great thing for me, but it kind of was.
Okay.
Let's
I
leave it
mean,
at that.
the point of a BK is to help people.
Yeah, and it
It's
helped.
not to take advantage of it.
Well, I
but
kind of
it's to
took
help
advantage
people.
of it.
Yeah. So it's to help people. So yeah, that's why they say after 2 years, while you get your shit together, like you can reapply for credit again and start rebuilding
they were just
your
giving it to me.
credit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I go bankrupt every 7 years.
Oh my god.
It's a law. It's not against the law. I'm just being
We're here to give good advice.
No, that is good advice.
That's not good
for
advice.
all you broke ass people.
No,
go
that's
bankrupt
not
every
good
7
advice.
years.
Okay. So moving on.
It was
So for those of you that want to get pre-approved for a home loan and you've already done the different steps that I went through to help rebuild your credit or to help build your credit, or you stop doing the things that help hurt your credit, and you're ready to get pre-approved. Some of the documents that you want to start gathering would be your income documentation, your asset documentation, and those would be if you're W-2.
Caller.
We have a call.
Caller.
Caller, who's this?
What's up? Who are you?
What's up? You on the block?
Caller, who's this?
Yeah, man, you called us, homie.
Right?
Don't let me
What's
get all
up?
90s on you, brother.
Great show, guys. By
Thank
the way,
you.
very informative. There's 2 questions that we missed on the super chats, and I want to read them to you guys real quick.
Yeah, because the TV went off.
Yeah, I know. You're not supposed to say that part, boo.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're having technical difficulties.
From CED Comments, he gave a $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. If you're an entrepreneur, what steps can you take to start showing income to obtain a loan to purchase a home?
Get a job.
Okay, so if you're an entrepreneur and you're claiming, let's just say you're getting a 1099 or it's just strictly self-employed income, I know that we love to write a lot of things off so that we, don't end up paying as much. But when it comes to getting a home, try to claim the least amount possible on your taxes, because that net amount after all of your write-offs, that's the amount that we use for your annual income. So if you are getting 30,000 and you're claiming 29,000, then you only made $2,000 that year. That's how it looks.
Right.
So remember
Right.
that it's the net amount that we use towards it. So try to claim the least amount possible during that period when you're trying, like for the 2 years, because we ask for 2 years of tax returns to verify how much income you're making.
Perfect. Thank you. And then we got one more super chat, $2 super chat from What the F Am I Watching? Great name, by the way. How can I get a loan on raw land in California? Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I don't know where raw land is. Where is that?
Is it raw land?
Raw land means it's bare.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking, I've been in Cali for a long time. I never heard of that one.
Later.
Hey, man, they're popping in new cities left and right. No. I'm sorry. Say the question again.
No.
How do
He
you,
left.
He hung up?
Yeah, he hung up.
He said,
He
how
hung
do
up.
you get property? I'm sorry. Yeah, land. How do you get land?
American Cholo,
Right?
please call in again. Please call in. We need your assistance ASAP.
So if you're looking to buy land, I know, for example, right now in Palmdale and in Lancaster, there's a lot of land available. I also know, I heard through a birdie that in Palm Springs, the value should be going up a lot more. And there is a lot of land out there available still.
Well, I could tell you
buy.
why in Palm
Yeah,
Springs.
you're the birdie.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, so I'm not going
No,
to.
everybody knows.
But yeah, I mean, those are places that you can get land. The areas are growing. So if you get the land now, just hold on to it. You can use it to build on for yourself if you want, or hold on to it for a while. Buy 2 of them, one for yourself and one so you can sell later. But eventually, as it continues to grow, somebody's going to want that land. By then, the value of it is going to be so much higher. And that's a great time for you to sell to those big corporations that are trying to buy it from you. I hope I answered that question.
I hope so too. Yeah, it was just buying like
Right.
like an acre of property
Right,
with
right,
nothing
right.
on it.
Okay.
But Palm Springs will probably be going up because the Walt Disney Company is building a city out there, which is called Centino. It's already out
They're
there.
going to have a lake.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lake. I mean, it's gonna have a downtown Disney down there. They're gonna have homes 50 and up, 50 and below. They're gonna have resorts out there and everything like that as well. It's actually in the city of Rancho Mirage, and I know that it's there for a fact because I've been on there. I've been on the property. I've been working there. So,
And there you go.
and the
So
houses
it's a good
are
area right now.
and even the small houses there are starting at a lot of money. So that area is just gonna get extremely
Yeah,
expensive.
so buy land near there.
Yeah.
And just get ready for it. All right, so moving on to the next one, we were talking about what you need to gather to get pre-approved. So we talked about if you were self-employed. If you're not self-employed, it's W-2s. Pretty much we need 2 years of income, whether it's your tax returns, and if you're self-employed, or W-2s if you're not self-employed. If it's business, again, we need the tax returns for your business, and we need the tax returns that are personal. We're gonna need both of them. Aside of that, 30 days worth of pay stubs. So try not to be calling in sick too much, because we're going to be using the year to date on those, along with whatever your hourlies are or your salaries. And 2-month bank statements. They check everything on your bank statements. So if you're using income, like for example, if you're self-employed and you're using income from your tax returns, from your bank statements, they are going to ask you where each deposit came from. So try not to have large cash deposits, because you're not going to be able to prove where that came from, and you're not going to be able to use it. So let's just say that you're the kind of person that puts money under your mattress, and you want to use that money for a down on your home, make sure that you put that money in your account 6 months before you're ready to go, at least just to, make sure that in case you find something fast, because they do check all deposits within the last 2 months and make sure that it's seasoned. So seasoned meaning the money's been in there for a long time. Once it's been over a certain period of time, they don't ask you where the money came from anymore, because they're not verifying more than 2 months. But within those 2 months, they will ask you where it's from. And if you can't prove that it was legit income and it's just cash, you won't be able to use it. So, there's that. What's up?
I got a question. I remember back in the day when I purchased one of my homes, I actually paid a little more so they won't look at my credit. Do they still have those programs?
So that's stated.
What's that?
That's when you those were around a while back. But,
Yeah.
They still have them available to some extent, but not. I mean, you have to have a really good down in order to go stated, at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were programs where you just said, "This is my title," and based on whatever title that is, there is a range of income that or salary that they know that title makes. So
Yeah.
you can't say like, "Oh, I'm." Whatever title, and then claim to make like 3 times what they actually make, because they're not going to take it seriously. They know, no, there's a range, and if you're claiming too much, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So it has to be realistic.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's what it was. You just kind of tell them what it is, and that's it, or they don't check your credit. There's different things.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, it looks like we've been here for over an hour already. We
Damn.
didn't get through everything, but we can always cover more on a different show.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm going to be bringing in some more people that cover more in depth of these particular things. So if there's anything that you want us to discuss, in a later episode, just let us know what it is.
And keep tapping into the 100 block, and we'll still keep trying to give it to you. We talk about it all day long, all week long, on what we're going to bring. So we're trying.
And thanks for tapping in.
And thanks for tapping in. And
Good
see
night.
you next week.